Yeah, so our question comes from Pithman in our Discord server, which says, in a dream situation where everything went perfectly, where do you see one in 10 years and what will it have achieved?
Um, I can take that one, I guess. I think a dream scenario. Well, not obviously things never go perfect, so um, I will answer that, but with the caveat that um, things always take longer than expected, and you never quite get where you want to be in the amount of time you think you are. I just think that that's not ever really the case. Things just take a really long time to get done, and that's why perseverance is so important. And coming up on our 1 year anniversary now, and it doesn't seem like we've gotten a lot done from a year ago on the macro scale, but on the micro scale, we've become very organized. We've started applying for official statuses with governments. We've reached out with networking quite a bit, and we've established a community of a couple hundred people. So um, you want to look at your victories while you can, and try not to compare yourself to some other arbitrary model. But I think in 10 years, what will be most important for me, I think the board as well, is that one was making a significant impact where you could measure one prior and after without one being there, I guess, rather to rephrase. There's a clear gap. Like we've made clear progress, and it's directly associated with what we've done and what we've established. And beyond that, I would really love to see some progress geopolitically. Not all of that we can control, but I would love to see some progress geopolitically influenced by nonprofits, such as ours, saying, "Hey, look, these historical sites are important, these cultures are important, these people are important, and if we want a chance at survival as a human species, then we have to come together and unite over something. And if that's monuments or culture or shared history, then that's okay." And
Right.
so
Yeah, and
I don't know if, just to end it, I guess, I don't know if we're going to meet all of our goals within 10 years, but certainly an optimistic scenario, we could be making worldwide impact.
yeah, and also that we're doing the work now to build the right foundation. Like I know, as the networking lead right now, I'm trying to make connections that are going to be sustaining for us in the future, and we're trying to sort of grapple with that idea of tangibility in terms of where we direct our impacts and how we can actually see the sites that we preserve or the mission trips that we take or that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it kind of along lines of what Colton is saying. In 10 years, we want to look back and see that things have remained, things have been preserved, and we've done our part to educate people on the importance of that.
Anything, Jake?
Yeah, I think Pithman describes a dream situation. We won't take that as far to say, in the dream situation, world peace and regional peace has been achieved.
Right.
But rather, in the dream, we're best equipped to deal with conflict as it arises. There's no use planning for that utopia that may never come. We just can become better prepared every day. I think a really great goal for 10 years from now, 2032, would be a Jerusalem 1 office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
Have people on the ground at all times.
It would really help
That's really cool.
be able to visit sites, be able to work with archaeologists, work with locals. That would just be phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And by having that goal in our minds, that can help direct our action just today when I'm, even just writing the next blog piece.
Yeah, that's really inspiring to think about. And I'd also say that making sure that in 10 years, it's not just about one being recognized or bigger or making an impact, but an efficient impact. We want to make sure that if we raise $10,000, that $10,000 goes to where it's going to most effectively make a difference. So you can throw $10,000 into a corporate machine, and it could just get piled into a bunch of funding. It's not that that's money's useless, However, I'm not sure that it wouldn't best be served or better be served in a place where you can specifically say, hey, $10,000 or $10 million, whatever the number is, can specifically make this change. And that's going to be measurable. And we know that that 10 million or 10,000 did that. And
Right.
that's much more for me than just saying, hey, donate to blank and blank broad cause.
Mhm.
Do you think 1 in 10 years is tied to what Lionhearts will look like in 10 years?
I would really love to see Lionhearts and One grow closer together, and I think that the development direction of Lionhearts, I mean, we've been prioritizing functional things, and as soon as we get those squared away, I'd really love to focus on education and history with specifically this region in mind, obviously, and how can we educate people? How can we make a big difference? Because a lot of people can't afford to donate. A lot of people can't afford to, contribute. But can they be educated? And can, instead of feeding into a cycle of ignorance where it's tribalistic in one side or the other, more of a broad understanding of, hey, how can we actually solve issues? How can we actually look and say, we are going to save this site, like the Shrine of Moses or the, whatever site needs fixing, whether it's the Holy Sepulchre or Al Aqsa Mosque or whatever other in the area that could use help and be preserved. And those are just to name a few of the dozens of prolific sites just in the Israel-Palestine region. So
Right.
connecting the two, I don't think will be hard, but it's not going to be easy either. It's sort of something that we're going to have to be intentional about moving forward.
Right. Something like a one event in Baghdad in the game saying this doesn't exist anymore
Yeah,
because of war.
right.
This was an amazing archaeological accomplishment that wasn't preserved for future generations.
Yeah.
So if we can do that to make sure that next generations don't have that.
And think of how educational it is for people to be able to go through a site like that, like Baghdad, like 1,000 years ago, right? And simulate what it would have been like as a way to remember. And what we're referring to the ancient city of Baghdad that was destroyed by the Mongols. So, I think the applications of video games for education are basically limitless. I think it's totally the future, and I think it's our children have a chance to be much better educated than we were because of the implementation of education through games, which is going to be in a much more effective medium. And I'd love to be on the cutting edge of that.